Greetings, friends. Welcome to Building Healthy Habits with Sweetness Jumbo. Today we have a beautiful guest by the name of Vanessa, and our episode today is titled "Whose Responsibility Is It?" She's a mother to two beautiful babies, and she'll introduce herself. Let me just welcome her in. Welcome, Vanessa. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm great, thanks. We are just gonna go in. Please do introduce you. I told them that you're a mother, married to Mr. Manika, have two beautiful babies, and I think you obviously know yourself much more better than I do. Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Okay. Thank you for introducing me. Good evening, everyone. My name is Vanessa Manyiga. As soon as I told y'all, I am a mother of two. I have been married for like 4 years now, I think, yes. And I've known my husband since 2012, so it's been a long journey. I am a Zulu woman, a very domesticated Zulu woman. Don't get fooled by the glamorous look. I am very domesticated. Yeah, I'm a professional. I'm an environmentalist. I work as a consultant. So yeah, that's me. I'm a public person. You can just see. Okay, Sweetness, I think your mic went off.
Yeah, it's okay. So what we are going to do is, when I'm talking, you can mute. When you're talking, then I have to mute just to remove the
Oh, okay.
background noise. Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So I remember I told you about this. So you can mute.
Cool.
Yeah. So I remember I told you about this. I think a week or two. I was basically watching this YouTube channel. Not gonna name it, and the two ladies were talking about just questions around married, being young and married, blah blah blah. And one question came up around obedience. So this lady was basically asked if she thinks she's obedient to the husband, and she was like she is Christian, but she said that she doesn't think she's obedient to the husband. Like a lot of the questions, I think another question was, so do you express who expresses love to the other person? Is it you most of the time, or is it the husband? And I felt like everything in their relationship was more like pushed on the side of the man. Like she wasn't obedient. Not that she's not obedient. Maybe she doesn't really know what obedience is. And also she mentioned that when it comes to expressing love, and a husband does most of those things. So that is where the topic actually stems from. So yeah, so today I just have a few questions for you. Since you've been married you are young, I mean, and you were married, that's we are basically targeting young people. So I'm just gonna hit the first question. So who do you think, whose responsibility is it to care, love, show affection between a married couple? Like in your view, or I don't know if you can tell us about what happens in your marriage, or in your view, I don't know, whatever that you think.
Okay. In my view, or let me just say
Yeah.
what has been happening in my marriage. Um, Firstly, my husband showed me love. Okay. And as soon as I felt that love, it automatically happened that I shared back. So, like the things he buys me flowers, he takes me on a date. And of course, I liked all those things. And then I started just giving him random gifts because, you know what, I felt like I'm very much in love. So I do take him out for dinner. I do romantic dinners at home. I chase the kids away. So it's like it goes two ways. But at the end of the day, it usually starts with them. And then that initiative just automatically comes to you. I remember when I got married, the pastor actually said, okay, I'm not so good with the Bible. You have to forgive me, okay? But I remember he said to him, you are supposed to love her. And as soon as you love her, the care comes automatically on a woman. And I remember at that point, I thought, oh my goodness, here they are now again with their scriptures. It sounded like it's just a typical vow kind of a thing that you actually go through when you're getting married. But then as I started seeing the love from him, it automatically happened that I'm going to care for him. I mean, in my house, I still serve my husband with like a tray and I wash his hands. It just comes automatically. I know I have all that time in my hands. I still do that. And I remember there's this Indian friend of mine. She came over and she joined us for dinner and she saw all of this. She was like shocked because at the office, I'm like this independent woman, like I'm very strict. And then when I get home, I'm like a woman from the rural areas, if you were to say, I am like that. I mean, I'm a doorstep away from kneeling down when I'm giving him food. I'm at that point. I'm sure next year I'm gonna be there. So in my opinion, honestly, it goes two ways. Although it usually starts with the guy, but then eventually you start feeling it and you like automatically just wants to give back. Yeah.
You know what? I actually usually see your statuses, and I know how you just always set up your house, and dinner is always like on another game. So I can actually attest to what you're saying. I mean, I've never really in your home, but I've seen your statuses how you set up, your table and everything is on point. And I do agree with what you're saying. A lot of people do say, okay, even in the Bible it says that the husband is supposed to love the wife. It's the response. It's not that the wife is not supposed to love the husband, but I think for us it's so much easier for a woman to love the husband. I don't know if you've ever noticed, like we just ooze love, you understand? But the Bible tells a man that you need to love your wife, and for us the Bible tells us to respect our, not that our husbands are not supposed to respect us, but for I think it's kind of like a bit tricky sometimes for women to be obedient. And for me, okay, I think I wanted to ask you a question. So were you expectant of the things that he does for you? So now I know you. I mean, obviously initially you guys liked each other. Were you expecting him to do certain things in order for you to say, okay, yes, I want you, or I want to get married to you?
Yeah, I did actually. Blame it on the movies, actually. That's where these ideas come from. But my husband is a very realistic guy. So he will tell you that, okay, we're not going to be leaving the movies here. I'm going to do what I feel like I need to do, not because I'm expected to do it. So, because of the type of a person he is, fortunately, as much as he's so strict, he's also very romantic. So, I kind of had to leave the movie life anyway because he's romantic. But I did have expectations. Like, I wanted flowers, and he would ask me these things randomly, but then he won't really show me that he's actually listening. But then the next thing you just get flowers, and I'm like, oh, okay, so you are listening. So yeah, definitely expectations are there. Every woman has expectations. The same way I had expectations that a man needs to give me money. And then I married an accountant and that never happened. So so you live through. Some of the expectations happen, some they don't. So yeah.
You're right when you say some of. I had a different. I think I had different expectations with my marriage. I don't think I was much more focused on, what he could buy me or what he could do for me and stuff. I think for me it was more of, him as a person. His character. Whether he was an honorable person, whether he was a person I could trust, whether he was a person who loves God. For me, that was stuff I was focused on. And I think when we got married, my husband is romantic in his own kind of way. He's not a flower person, to be honest. My husband has never bought me flowers. Like, he has never said, okay, here's flowers for you, or I've bought you. He buys things for me, like clothes and stuff, but he doesn't buy it like, oh, here's a surprise. I'm surprising you. No, he doesn't. He can't even surprise me. When he wants to do something, he will always say it to me, even though he wants to surprise me. And I think initially for me, it was like, okay, where I was working, there was one lady, who the husband would literally send flowers at work. And I remember one time asking my husband, when are you sending me flowers, Gant? People are getting flowers, And the same thing, you said the same thing you're telling. My husband told me that, look, I mean, I can't, not that I don't want to buy you flowers, but the way I show my love to you is a different kind of way. He is able to give me all that I need, but I'll send you flowers at work and what, no, I've never seen that. And I do appreciate it. it's fine with me, because I don't think those are things I was expecting in the beginning, and I can't force it now. I can't force it now to say. Even now that I told him, he said, "No, I'll buy you flowers." I tell you what, no, he's never buying me flowers. But every other thing he does for me, anything I need, he does for me. So I'm grateful for that. So yeah, that's for me. So another question is, who's supposed to abide? Now we're talking about obedience. And who's supposed to abide, who makes the rules, and who follows the rules in your marriage or in your view?
Okay. This is why I mentioned that I was Zulu. So I'm not sure if everyone goes through this, but in my culture, before you get married, they give you advices. So all the women in the family, married or not, they give you advices. And the advice I was given at home was, I need to abide. I need to respect my husband. I need to be humble with my husband. He is the man of the house. And I've been living through that. And actually, there's a reason why I think that is working. I have a very strong personality. So that comment to me was a way of me to tone down, because I can be really strong in my marriage and I can be really stubborn if given a chance. And every time I want to raise my voice, or I want to raise my, oh, what's happening? Oh, okay. Every time I want to raise my view, I remember, okay, you know what? This is not the way to address husband. You need to address him in a better tone. Listen to what he's saying. Then you can comment. So in my opinion, honestly, the woman is the one that is supposed to abide and respect the husband. Go down, don't shout at him, and it does work, honestly, especially if you're trying to get a message across. Shouting, screaming, they're actually not listening to you. They are not. And to me, he would actually tell me, like, you know what, if only you could just stop streaming, probably I would have listened. So I would say it's us. But I'm sure most independent women would disagree, but that's just me.
So true. And especially, you're right. I mean, obedience or abiding is not necessarily for like extroverts like us. It's for everyone. One time before I got married, I think I was still in varsity, or I don't know, I was doing first year my masters, I don't remember. But I remember one time, and I always say these things, a friend from church, yeah, she said something like, I have a big head and I might find it hard to get married, or I might not get married. Like, I will not find somebody who will choose me because of my character. And that thing stuck with me. I was like, what is wrong with me? You understand? And I remember talking to one of our like youth pastors, and he was like, no, there is no such a thing. Every woman is opinion. Because I felt like, okay, I was too opinionated. I was too this, I was too that. He was like, no ways. Every woman out here, you see, every woman out here is opinionated. It's just that maybe you guys, the fact that you're able to express yourself around people doesn't necessarily mean that you are more opinionated. People in marriages know this, that their wives are opinionated in their own way. So there is nothing wrong about that. And you obviously find somebody who will like you for who you are. So you're definitely right. And I think one thing about obedience, it's not, I think like you're saying, you are Zulu, and probably your culture, because of your culture and how you're brought up, that kind of like assisted you into ushering you in the way of being able to respect your husband, being I don't think that bowing down and doing all those things is the only sign of respect. You understand? You can choose to do what you want to do. Bow down to your husband and stuff, because for you it comes easily, and that's how you grew up, and you don't have a problem with that. But it's not a thing for everyone. But I think also with obedience, it doesn't. When you get married, you don't automatically just bow down to somebody. It's something you obviously have to teach yourself, something that you learn along the line. You understand? You have to keep it in mind that, look, as a woman, I need to be obedient to my husband. Not that your husband is not supposed to respect you. I think men are respectful, hey? They really are respectful. Like, they know how to keep themselves, like, to keep and he will never really come to you shouting and stuff. But with us, it's like every time we try to express ourselves, we just want to scream, or you want to cry, or you want to burst out. You understand? But with men, it's different. Like, when he wants to communicate something to you respectfully, so so it's a thing for us. But yeah, you're right. I also think it's a thing for women. Not that I'm saying men should be disrespectful. So thank you for answering that, V. Now, when you guys are having a quarrel, who's supposed to apologize? So this goes in both ways. If he is wrong and if you are wrong, who is supposed to apologize?
Okay. In my situation, most of the time I'm always the one who's wrong. But because I'm a person that doesn't like tense situations. Like I cannot go with a tense environment in my house. So whether he's wrong, whether he's right, I'm always gonna be like, I'm sorry, I love you. Can we just go back to us now? Like I miss you, and I'll go for those kisses, and we're like, no, but then babe, I don't like this, I don't like this. I'm like, I know, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. So most of the time, honestly, I'm the one who apologizes. I apologize a lot. I
Can I
can
say
actually count
something?
the number of times he has apologized.
Can I disturb you? You know, one thing people don't know about these strong women is that they are so soft around their men.
That's very true, bro. Like, yo, I mean, I'm a softie. I'm a big softie. If you bump into me on the street, you probably won't even say hi because you think I'll probably bite you. But when I meet my husband, I'm like a baby, like a small baby. I am like all cuddled up with him. As soon as I see his face changes, I'm worried. Dean, what's wrong now? Is like, are you okay? And sometimes it annoys him. Then I'm asking him all the time. So yeah, it just goes with personality. Some people are very stubborn. I have my sisters, they don't bow down. They don't. And I'll be like, okay, but in this case, sister, you need to bow down. And she'll be like, no, he needs to apologize. He needs to apologize. Some people even use their beauty to like provoke the apology out of a guy. Like, remember, I'm beautiful. I can get another one. So it happens. It happens. Some people really just don't want to back down. And I'm like, calm down. I know you're beautiful, but at the end of the day, you still love the guy. I mean, it's hard to go to sleep when your man is mad at you. Yo, Mina, I like cuddling, so that's gonna be a challenge. Now you're mad at me. I can't touch you in my sleep, and now I need to remember in my sleep. But oh, kind of, we're not talking. You see, so
No, that's so true. That's so true. I was laughing so hard. I think you know what. Like I said, people think that we are just these hard people who stubborn and stuff, and it's not like that. I mean, I think it's just what they. I don't know how we express ourselves. That people think we are the same thing with me. You see, my husband and I. My husband is a bit calm. He's outspoken, but he's much more calm. Like he's a bit serious compared to myself. Me, I'm playful, and I talk too much and stuff. He's the one who's able to calm down and listen. But also, and I think I've apologized more than he has apologized, because sometimes like he's able to speak sense to me. Like when we have an argument initially, I'd feel like, okay, I'm right. But then he's just always, always, always. I don't know if you've ever had this thing. I remember I was talking to a colleague of mine. She was telling me that, you know what, when I have arguments with my husband, he's just able to, like, they are so smart. They are able to somehow convince you, and then you end up looking like, you end up looking like a fool for just being angry, for nothing. So the same thing with me. I think I've apologized more than my husband has, and I mean, people will not believe this. I also try to keep us at peace. Yeah, my husband would really like. He even tells you. He will tell you that look. He will tell you things that he doesn't like because once he gets frustrated. Oh, let's pause. Sorry, guys. Let's wait for V to come in.
hi. Sorry, I don't know. I
No,
just lost my Wi-Fi. I don't.
no problem. No problem. Um, Yeah, so as I was saying, that I also find myself, honestly, I don't have a problem. You know what? Let's talk about this, V. Like, to keep, I mean, obviously we get married to stay married, right? And I'm not saying that people who are divorced, I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not in that space, but I'm just saying that, for you, even as a woman, you have a responsibility into, keeping your marriage. You understand? Like, I'm not trying to traditionalize this, but for your marriage to work, you need to put in work. It's not like, okay, I'm bringing in my beauty, or I'm bringing my brain, or I'm bringing my money, so you are the one who's about. I honestly and I totally disagree with that. I know we have different opinions and people are entitled to their own opinions, but I honestly do disagree. It's not a man's responsibility, only a man's responsibility to apologize. If you're a woman and you have to apologize when you're wrong, you have to. If you're a man and you have to apologize when you're wrong, you do have to apologize. Whether you're beautiful, imagine if you have to always leave a marriage just because you think you're beautiful, and I mean, then don't get married. You understand? Don't get married. Don't commit to anyone, because then the other person is a fool. You understand? Then you are always right and the other person is a fool. So what's the use of committing to anybody? But anyways, like you said, some people would differ. Um and then in terms of taking care of, I think you've already explained this, in terms of taking care of your kids and just doing house chores, cleaning the house and cooking, whose responsibility is that?
Okay. Okay, how I grew up, it's supposed to be a responsibility of a woman. But fortunately, my husband is a very active man. He would clean up if he has to clean up. He will wash dishes if he has to wash dishes. So in this house, he will actually say it's our home. So we both responsible for it. We both doing it. But most of the time, of course, I feel bad. There's a part of me will feel bad, and I'll be like, no, it's fine, relax, I'll do it. But otherwise, on a Saturday morning, we are all busy. If he's not in the garden, he's fixing something. He's always fixing something. I don't know what's up with them fixing things, but he's always busy with something. And I'm like cleaning. And also, I have someone that is assisting me in the house. So it's like all three of us trying to tackle down this house and keep it clean, especially with two babies running around. The house is always dirty every day. So yeah, it's both I think it's both our responsibilities. Honestly, it is. Except taking care of kids, and that is us. It comes naturally, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. That's what I always say. For me, I think it was the same thing also when I got married. Um, I think my mother was mostly the one doing things in the house, but she never really instilled in us the rules and regulations, as in the woman does this, the man does this. So even when I got married, I think I was a bit open minded, even though, I mean, I know my mother did the most. So when I got married, my husband doesn't have any sister, it's just only brothers. So he was used to doing a lot of things in the house. So yeah, I think that's just what we meshed into. We do things together from the beginning. I mean, he helps out a lot. Especially in the beginning, he used to help out when I was pregnant. He would do most of the stuff, and really, we didn't really have an issue with it. But I think that there's also some women out here who are obviously married to men who are a bit like they are not really into taking care of the kids or doing anything in the house. And I also feel like we always have to make our marriages work, because when you choose somebody, you choose them with whatever they come with. You understand? And people change. I'm not saying we can change people, but if you are willing, if you get married to a man who's like so traditional, I mean, you said you love the man and you got married to them, so that's what you have in your plate. Because most of the time, like I was telling you with the flowers, we want to compare what we have to what other people have. You understand? You could have this and I could have something that you don't have, and that's fine. That's mine and that's yours. You understand? You take care of what's yours. So I think even if you have a man who's a bit or not into these things, maybe initially, I'm sure that if you're patient enough, because that's what you chose. I mean, that's what you chose. And probably that was not a priority for you. If that is the case, then you can slowly teach them, slowly, just show them they have to do and stuff. And I don't know. I don't know if it can work, but I'm just hopeful that, that can work because, like we say, we get married to stay married by grace. So, yeah, I think this one is a big thing. Now we're talking about finances. I mean, we know that you said you're a consultant. Obviously, you make your own money. You get your own check every month. You have brains. You do so many things. So now you are working. Your husband is working. Whose responsibility is it now? Do you keep your money? Does the husband do everything in the house and your money is your money, or what? Or what happens?
Hey, my husband is an accountant, bruh. So our money is our money. Like we share responsibilities in this house. Every month before payday, he sends out a spreadsheet of like the budget. You need to fill in your budget. He fills in his budget. Everything is transparent. Then we distribute the bills. Who's doing what? Who's doing what? If one of us has more bills, he's taking some of my bills. If he has more bills, I take some of his bills. So it's like it's joint actually. Like you can actually see both of us going on negative together. It's not like he spends more or I spend more. No, it's like super 50-50 vibes. And it just happened like that. I don't remember him forcing me to do it. It just automatically happened. I don't know how. But like I told you, remember, I was told that a man needs to take care of you, a man needs to buy you this. And it still happened. I'm getting taken care of, but I never feel bad about it, or I feel like maybe he doesn't love me more, or when I like, no, I'm okay with it like this, actually. It's fine. So yeah, that's how it is in my house. But wait.
And what do you feel for those who think it's only the man's responsibility?
Honestly, I cannot comment on their feelings much because I think people have different backgrounds and different situations. Some of them you might find, Ogoti, it's their financial situation that is putting them in that position to expect the man to take care of them. While me, I can't be saying, hey, I don't want him to take care of me, or I'm not expecting it because I'm speaking from a point of privilege because I'm getting something. So I don't know. I've met other men also who actually say, my woman is working. She's a professional. She has her own salary, but I don't expect her to pay for anything. Her money is her money. I still take care of it. So it's different situations, honestly. Mine is working for us. We're sharing the bill. If we feel like we need to go out, you ask me, do you have the money? And I'm like, yeah, I do. Even if it was my idea to go on a date, perhaps it's just going to pay for the drinks and then I take care of the main meal. So either way, whoever decided to do the date, at the end of the day, we're still sharing the bill. It happens automatically. I can't even explain it myself, but I think he's just tuned me like that.
I like what you say, that what works for you works for you, and different things work for different people. You guys say you share your bills, so you have your income coming in and his income, so you have separate incomes, not joint incomes. Yeah, so I like what you're saying. I mean, yeah, we don't have to use the same recipe, for everyone. What works, or what works. For me is we, and like you say, you just fall into that track. Like I don't know, it just happens automatically. We just, from everything, and I think this is a question that's gonna come. Or let me not say anything about it. For me, it's our account have always been joint. So we have basically one account, and obviously my husband is more of like African men. They feel like, okay, he needs to do more and stuff, but obviously because we are both working, and there's no such a thing as, okay, it's your money, it's my money and stuff. No. So he even lets me, because our money comes into one account, he lets me take care of all the things in the house. So I'd have to make sure that this is paid from the money that we have in the account. So that has also been our thing. And like you say, people have different things. Some people have separate accounts, and I know of a friend of mine who says that I think initially they were joint, and then they moved on further to separating their accounts, and then basically delegating responsibilities. Okay, you are supposed to maybe pay the bond, maybe the husband will pay the bond and maybe pay the cars or whatsoever, and then the wife will pay school fees, all those things. Just however it works for you, it works for you as long as it works. So yeah, that's great. And then I think now for those who are about to get married, right? Now, we are still coming back to finances. Whose responsibility is it to take care of the financials, like the dress, the venue, and all those things? How did you do yours?
Okay, I'll go back to my husband being an accountant. So he created a spreadsheet for the whole wedding budget. And then he was like, okay, babe, this is how the budget looks like. We need to save this much. And this is independent of the lobolas, by the way. I know in some of the cultures, there is this idea that the lobolas are supposed to pay for the wedding. No, ours did not pay for no wedding. We started from point zero, and each time we paid for something, he would take it. Even the dress, we paid it, like we paid for it together. The suit, the decor, everything, he would take it off from the spreadsheet. This spreadsheet even existed even for our honeymoon. Literally, we only destroyed the spreadsheet a month after we got married because everything was then paid up. Even the money is like deposits coming in, he'll put it as a positive, like, okay, money came back. So we jointly paid for the wedding. It's not like he paid for it or his family paid for it. It was literally just the two of us. None of our family members were involved. We actually told them, you guys are guests in our wedding and you're going to come exactly like that. You don't have to know how much we pay for it, how expensive our wedding is, all those things. Even my mom's outfit, his parents' outfit, they were all covered in that budget. He was like to the detail. So we bought, I guess, I don't know, for some people, the guy, I know different traditions, different customs. Usually the guy pays for it. With white people, it's actually the woman's family that pays for it. With Indians, it's different. So yeah, with ours, we just created our own tradition, I guess.
You're always giving me bomb statements. Like you created your own traditions. And I think, honestly, that's how things, you know what? I know we have traditions. I know we have how things were done in the past and stuff, but those things, they don't always work for everyone. They don't always work. Like in terms of, especially me and you, we relate. You married somebody, like somebody outside of South Africa. I also got married somebody, culture is different and everything. So now, for you to blend cultures, whose culture do you follow? It becomes difficult because he says that, okay, in our home we do it like this, and you say that in my Zulu culture this is how you do it. So what do we do then? So I feel like it's okay to just start your own tradition. It was the same case with me. My husband and I, when we were planning, we wasn't in the country, and so we obviously had a lot of the communications and a lot of everything had to be done virtually. The spreadsheets, some of the things that we did obviously was like advice from our spiritual parents, like, okay, have a spreadsheet and say who's gonna do this and I was more than willing. I think I even started budgeting for my wedding before I even met somebody. Like I started putting money aside to say that the day I want to do something, yeah, I had money on the side, like, and for planning our wedding, we didn't even take that long. It didn't take long planning for our wedding because we already had something put aside, So I know I've had people who are like, no, the husband is supposed to, or the fiance, the boyfriend is supposed to take care of, everything. But Nakona, like you're saying, if the man is willing to do that, let him do that. But if Nakona he can't, I feel like there's things you can always do. I mean, you can put money aside to buy your dress. Even if you are not like financially stable, you make things work. I don't know. For me, it's like when you set yourself up to do something, things just always come together. Like if you say, okay, we want to get married, blah, 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 blah. Even though it's not like we got married because we had millions, we just set ourselves up to say, okay, we are going to do this thing, and we made it happen. Not just on the men's side that, the man is supposed to take care of everything, the man is supposed to know. It was the same case for me. We shared responsibilities. Also with us, also the lobola didn't really help with the wedding. So we had to take care of all of that. But the great thing on my side is that, so with my husband, I don't know. I think it's more like how they live, like the family. My mother-in-law took care of things like, our traditional clothes and stuff. So people would literally come in and say, okay, I can help you with this. I know a friend of my husband's bought him like shoes. So he bought him shoes, and then one of the friends, who was, I think was, I don't know, in Italy or where, literally bought suits, like 3 sets of suits, just for free, to say that, okay, this is what I'm giving you. So that's how culture helped us to say, okay, I'm contributing. I can't come, I can't do this, but this is what I can send you. So yeah, it worked out. It worked out for us. So thank you very much, V, for sharing us. Basically, you're sharing your life with us. Do you have anything, or do you have any questions, or do you have any comments? I mean, what do you have to say around this? Whose responsibility is it?
I think to just close off, I would say the whole responsibility thing goes with how the couple is normally. Like you don't have to really follow certain customs to define whose responsibility it is. You create your own. You learn how your person is. You learn their personality. You learn what freaks them out, what works for them, what makes them happy. I think marriage is a try and error thing. Like you try it out, it doesn't work. Oh, okay, now next time, okay, this is not working for us. You try it out, oh, fabulous, this is actually working for us. So honestly, this whole question can only be answered with you actually going there, getting married, learning your person is the only way. I can say, hey, bow down to your husband. And you might find that he's actually a person that actually doesn't like a softie. He's looking for a woman that is going to be like, hey, what time is it? Why are you not at home at this time? So, I might say, hey, bow down, Kandiana. He's like, no. When I met you, you were that woman that asked me, where am I? Wow. Now you're all, they might just push him away. So it's just about who you're with and what works for you guys. Yeah, bro.
That's true. That's so true. That's so true. It was the same case. I think my husband and I had this discussion, like where I was asking him, what do you prefer? And he told me that, he doesn't really like a woman bowing down and stuff. He obviously has his own preference, and that's what I stick to. To make him happy, and he also sticks to what I like to make me happy. So one thing I can say is, I think one thing we need to tone down on. I don't know what you think about this, but one thing you tone down on when you get in marriage is expectations. Sometimes expectations can be very frustrating. You know what? I'm not saying there's things obviously we expect. It's not even about expectations. There's things that need to happen. Like, the fact that your husband is there, committed, all the things that he's supposed to do as a husband. Those things, it's not even supposed to be an expectation. He's supposed to do, even you as a wife, the things that you're supposed to do, it shouldn't be an expectation. You are just supposed to do. But there's literally things, and I think I've seen this thing all over Facebook and social media, where a person is probably single and is what they're looking for. It's just expectations over expectations. If you think about it, even yourself don't meet those expectations. If you're saying that, oh, I want to get married to a man who drives this car and has this thing and has this thing and has that thing. Well, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but for me, expectations just don't work. We build together, we teach each other, we put each other first. Like you basically put your selflessness, your selfishness aside. When you get married, you need to be selfless, because we are two different people. We have different mindsets. The way I think and the way I express myself is different. So sometimes when I express myself, my husband literally has to think out of the box. Like, when you're expressing something to your husband and he hears something else, he hears what he wants to hear because of what he's currently feeling. That those are things that happen in marriage. So you just have to be selfless and say, okay, this person might have said this and it's probably hurting, but maybe that's not what he means. That's basically what I think works in marriage. And it's just putting aside expectations and allowing, like you said, if you shout on the person and you're pushing him to do things, it doesn't work with men. It doesn't work at all. In fact, you are pushing him away. If you are shouting at him, you're just pushing him away. He will block his ears, and that's it. So yeah, but I guess it's just the two of us here, and people will probably have different things to say about, because marriages are not the same. What works for me, what works in my marriage, is different from what is working in your marriage. So thank you very much, V, for I like your openness, and I think, what, we should actually, I don't know what you think. Now that I was talking about you, I just like how you are. So, I like how you take care of yourself like you're a mother. Somebody meets you in the streets, they think that, hello, girlfriend, like girlfriend vibes, because you do take care of yourself, and at the same time, you have a child, you have a house, you have a husband, you have in-laws, all of these things. When people see your face, they think that, no, hello, you girlfriend vibes. I like that about you.
Apparently,
So I don't know. Yeah,
when I'm in the street, you stalk.
Exactly. Like somebody would even approach you to think that, no,
Trust
can't you
me, they
know
do.
you're off the market.
But that ring, we know your type. You just put that ring so that you want to kick us out. And I'm like, oh, you mean?
Really?
Oh, yeah,
Really?
apparently.
You see, because they think that,
But you know what, Ness?
wives.
When you were talking, I had an idea. Like, this whole responsibility thing also plays a role, especially in bed, guys. One day we're
Hey,
going to
why
talk
didn't I have
about
that
this.
question?
One day
Yeah,
we're going to
yeah. I
have
want
that
us to
question.
talk. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Who told women that it's the guy's responsibility to initiate sex?
Oh
That
my
needs to
God. I
stop.
want that. I want
That
that.
needs to stop. But
It needs to
anyway,
stop, guys.
you need
Okay?
to invite me on that one. I specialize in that. You need to invite me
Hey, no,
because,
no, soon, soon, soon. We are talking
yes,
about that, and I think people are like, oh, I mean, young
Leo,
people. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, yo, guys, and then they get shocked when temptation finds its way into the marriage because of
Into the
certain things
marriage.
that we're actually doing
Exactly.
without even noticing that we're doing. Like, yo, guys, our lack of confidence in ourselves. I mean, the guy married you. He chose you out of a
Exactly.
lot of women. Ukuthi, you feel
And
like you've given birth to two kids now, Nomkaba, now you have this.
no
Yeah, that
ways.
man still
Oh,
finds you
V.
attractive.
I am telling you. And then he likes that kaba. You see the one that you're afraid of.
Uthanda
Ufuna lowo
ukufa.
onjalo.
Akafile
Oh,
ngathi
so
uthola indoda ithatha lowo mntwana
yo,
afa.
I remember
That's how male
when
this
I
is.
when I was telling my husband about losing weight, I was like, "Why do you have to lose weight?
Oh, by the
I
way.
chose you like this." They don't like it. Like
Exactly.
it's like now there's things about me that he tells me, okay, if you're losing weight, just make sure those things stay there. you know,
Exactly. Exactly.
exactly. No, V, we have to have this
My husband
conversation.
just said to me, as long as you're healthy and you're happy, that's
Exactly,
all I want. I
exactly.
just want my confident wife. If you feel like you're not happy with a certain body because your confidence is like attacked, then do something about it. But if you feel like you are fine to me. It's not my
Yeah,
position to tell you how you need to
exactly,
look. So, but
exactly.
guys, elite cool.
Let's sizoyenza le sizoyenza le but you see, it's the same thing I'm saying about expectations, because I don't know,
Mm.
somehow we get in our marriage and we feel like it's everything is the man's responsibility, like you're saying, to
Ish.
initiate sex. Like you get into your marriage and you think that your man will always be touching you. You'll be shocked
Oh,
if you don't
uzolamba.
touch. I'm telling you, and you know what people don't know
Uzolamba.
about women is that our sexual drive is way more. I don't know. Our sexual drive is way more like above than men.
Yep.
Men want it constantly. I know, but I
Mm.
don't know. Like for women, I remember when I was pregnant. I don't know. We are not supposed to go here, but when I was pregnant, I think my husband had this fear that, oh, maybe like give me a break and stuff. And I was like, no ways.
Yeah.
Break for what? Therefore, and you know what?
Oh,
During those times, he wasn't obviously, touching the cuddling, yeah, but he was so afraid because I'm pregnant and
thinking that you're
it's
gonna
so
hurt
difficult to
her.
turn. Exactly, he
Yeah.
felt like, oh, I was gone.
Yeah.
So imagine if I was waiting for him to initiate.
Yeah.
Imagine if I was waiting for him to initiate. I was just
Starvation,
going to
bro.
be hungry. Exactly. So
You, you.
what was I thinking?
Me and starvation are not friends. Are not.
I remember we spoke about this. Remember
What?
during maternity leave, we used to have this
You.
conversation.
If it
And
means our bed is now boring, me, I don't mind to book us out, and I'm like, let's go to a hotel. If you feel like our
exactly.
bed is not doing it anymore, we are going to a hotel, new environment. Let's try this.
Yeah.
Yo, it's a pity
I
now there's kids all over the house because sometimes the bedroom is the problem. try it out somewhere
Exactly.
else in the house. So, but then
Exactly.
Ghana, guys, kids.
Hey, Buffett.
So
Over
that's why you kick them
go.
out. Manje ugogo le kude. You
And
know?
they are for you, Coco good, Deshem.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
you
that's
see.
true. You know when you go to a hotel, like nje, the scene is completely
It's
different from what it
different.
is at home.
It's
Exactly.
if guys, even Airbnb at $300, someone else in the
Nje,
house
what
makes
different?
such a big difference.
A
You will be
difference,
surprised.
exactly.
You come back as a new couple.
I'm
As a
telling
new
you, you are
couple.
right. You are right. Oh,
Mm,
yes, and if this thing we're not gonna delay it, ne? Soon we need to talk about this
mm,
thing. It's so
we
hot.
should. It's very hot.
Yeah.
It's very lit.
And I know you when it comes to this topic, like you are very passionate.
I
Yeah.
am very passionate.
Hey,
That one,
no.
Minavele. I think one of these days I'm gonna go to be a sex expert for married people. Yo,
No, that's you know what? And
and
one thing I
always.
notice, me, I'm very open around the sex topic. And you know, I know
Mm,
with some people who are Christians, like they don't really, they feel like it's something that needs to be closed in the bedroom, like it's for you and your husband and
mm,
stuff. But no, there's
mm.
nothing wrong. Like this thing was created by God. I mean, me and
Bible,
my husband are married, so why are we supposed to hide it? You get what I'm saying?
it was
So
created for us in the
for
beginning.
us, for
The
enjoyment and
very
for
beginning.
recreation and
Exactly.
reproduction.
I
Exactly.
always say to my friends, I'm like, now when I'm having sex with my husband, the angels are rejoicing as cheerleaders. And they think
Amen.
I'm crazy. They're like, you're crazy. That's so disturbing. I'm like, because God created this for us. So why should I be ashamed of
Exactly.
something that he thinks it's a gift to a married couple? So I mean, I mean, they're cheerleaders.
Exactly.
They're like, yeah, Kobe. That's how
Yazi
I say it.
ngibona ngathi sizovuselela imishado. We must do this thing sivuselele
Aisha and
because a lot of
Ubushen
people need imvuselelo. Yeah?
especially during lockdown, trust me, people are going through the most in their marriages. They're going through the
Yeah.
most. Because remember, we
Like
are
being
forced to
locked
be
in
in
the
there.
house.
Yeah, we are forced to be into each other's spaces all the time. And some people are
Yeah.
not okay with that. So many people got divorced last year already. Like, so many.
I know.
People
I
I
know.
was
I
looking
know.
into the next thing, how Obanban got divorced. Njani, what happened? They're like,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah.
we just lost each other. Just like that. So, kunzima, guys.
And if you
But
think about it, I mean, if you're in one space, aren't you supposed to be bonding instead of?
honestly, I must say, with my marriage, things were a little bit weird before lockdown. But guys, lockdown did the most for us. Like, it put us
Exactly. That's what you'd
together.
expect.
No distractions. We learned each other again. We learned new things about each other again. So, for some people, it didn't work. For us, it worked the most. So, but hey, when fast, I haven't eaten. I have to go and eat.
Thank
So,
you very much, V. We are going to have this conversation around sex and marriage. People should spice up their marriages, okay? Thank you very
yeah,
much. Have a great day. Thank you.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and share. Share with your friends, share with your family. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good night. Bye.